things she filed and sent to the judge. Okay, here, look at 8-5. So this is what happened. They just haven't gotten the video yet. 8-5, per the court advised investigator Billy Lane, representative from Prison Break Investigations, to release the thumb drive to Sergeant Donald Casey, representative from the Orange County Jail, in open court. Investigator Billy Lane also released the 2 boxes of discovery back to the clerk in open court. Defendant requested that the 2 boxes of discovery be released back to investigator Billy Lane. The court granted. The clerk released the 2 boxes of discovery back to Billy Lane in open court. Trial remains as previously set. Court minutes. Status held. The court addressed several of the defendant's motions and set deadlines as it relates to exhibits and witness lists. The court will prepare specific order with all deadline dates as what was stated on the record, including the costs for JACs. The court provided the defendant in open court a copy of the email dated 7/24/24 from Gina Giovanni, Captain Security Operations, and a copy of today's order setting hearing. Court witnesses sworn and testified were Christian Lake with JACS investigator Billy Lane, representative from Prison Break Investigations Sergeant Donald Casey, and a representative from the Orange County Jail. And then everything is still on schedule. We have another hearing on the 9th, a motion hearing, and then a status hearing on the 14th, and then a trial management conference on September 26th. And then the trial is set to begin on October the 7th. But there were, let's see, a couple things here that she sent over. Oh, that's not it. Oh, this one's locked. 7/31/24. This one's locked. These are her motions that she filed. I'm not going to read these, but she hand writes all of these. Look at this. Investigator to be determined. Here's her motion for money. Let's look at these. And reading the minutes is great, but seeing Sarah in action pro se is going to be something that is for the record books. Still nothing. Okay, temporary motion for a reservation of proposed costs to acquire investigator for defendant's defense and trial. Comes now, Sarah Boone, pro se indigent defendant, respectfully requests from this court the reservation of proposed costs to acquire investigator for defendant's defense and trial. Investigator to be determined. Total amount requesting to be determined. How to calculate unknown by defendant. Reason, no discovery or case materials provided to defendant from the judge. The defendant is trying to avoid any further persecution and penalization from the judge in court, while vigorously attempting to succeed in her forced position of pro se attorney. The exceeded time limit of waiting to receive the defendant's discovery and case materials promised by the court has forced the submittal of this temporary motion. Once the defendant has finally received, she will be able to proceed. Will advise and resubmit this motion upon completion of her review and research of the contents. So then she signs it. So that's one of them that the judge, and then here's the other one. This one's 29 pages. Motion requesting immediate relief to the defendant by appointing effective standby counsel to aid and support in preparation of her criminal case for trial. Comes now Sarah Boone, pro se indigent defendant, respectfully requests from the court immediate relief by providing effective standby counsel with all legal services allowed and included to assist and aid the defendant as a whole in the complex, vital procedural preparation with professional guidance. She's doing pretty good, actually, during her forfeited right to counsel by the court as pro se attorney and in her proposed lawful representation of self in her criminal case. Defendant's justifiable reasons for requested relief and assistance are as followed. She says that the defendant's sixth constitutional right to counsel is being violated. The defendant is not an officer of this court or any court. The defendant is defective and ineffective counsel to self as a result, which therefore will detrimentally impact and impede favorable justice. The defendant is presently incarcerated, which is causing and will cause unfair burdens, limitations, deprivations, inaccessibilities, and unequal opportunities in and to her ability to complete tasks and timely responsibilities suitable to the vile defense of the defendant's life and livelihood. Examples of said unfair burdens are as follows. A, the defendant has not received from the court to date of this motion any of her promised discovery or case-related material. With only 4 days to submit my demands and motions delegated by the court before 7/22. B, the defendant has not reviewed from the court to date of this motion any of her promised discovery or case materials submitted to former attorney. C, the defendant does not have access to a computer. D, the defendant does not have access to the internet. E, the defendant has extremely limited, irregular access to basic tablets supplied by the Orange County Jail. F, defendant has access to payphones for collect calls only. G, defendant does not have access to organizational supplies or production equipment, copier, printer, etc. H, defendant does not have access to a meeting place for privacy. I, additional daily obstructions and undetermined hardships, disadvantages, difficulties will likely come about due to being incarcerated once my case materials are finally received. Continued application and reasoning and further lawful support of defendant's request for immediate relief with standby counsel to aid and assist in preparation of her criminal case. So then she goes on to list case law, etc. I mean, she's really doing her homework. I don't know if I could do all this. I don't think I could. I really don't think I could. Do you guys think you could do this? I mean, this is going to be very interesting to watch for sure. See, they're not even talking about it. But we know what happened. Maybe it was just really short. I don't know. I can't imagine anything with Sarah Boone being short. I mean, can you imagine writing all of these pages? It's crazy. Her handwriting's getting sloppier. Yeah, I mean, look how much she's writing. So will she be able to access a printer? I mean, how would you be able to defend yourself being in jail with just paper and pen? It's kind of nuts.